8 facts, 8 sharp contrasts, from a referee who started before he knew the game to a song lyric that became online slang. Each one turns a familiar idea into something unexpected. Watch the full set for the mechanism behind the surprise. Adonis Carrasco was already a FIFA-listed referee when he signed up for basic training. He had never played football, and he did not know the rules yet. That means he entered the sport from zero. No match experience, no childhood playing background, and no rulebook knowledge shaped his starting point. The turning point was the training itself. It was the first step where football rules had to be learned instead of assumed. So the oddity was not a shortcut. It was a beginner entering a formal system that expected learning to happen fast. By the time he was being trained, the role and the basics were out of order. The referee came first, and the football knowledge had to follow. A Gothic novelist used Shakespeare to justify a real ghost in Ethelwina. Cordes did not hide the supernatural part, he defended it. Ethelwina, or the House of Fitzauburn, appeared in 1799 from Minerva Press. It is a Gothic romance set in Edward III's reign, with the 100 Years' War in the background. Inside the story, Ethelwina's father is killed, then returns as a ghost to protect her and urge vengeance. The supernatural figure is part of the plot, not just decoration. That was the problem Cordes had to solve. By leaning on Shakespeare, he could treat a ghost as a legitimate Gothic device instead of a cheap trick. So the novel becomes two things at once, a ghost story and an argument about what fiction may include. Shakespeare gives the ghost literary cover, and Minerva Press puts it into print. Bill Cottrell came from a high school team that lost 32 straight games, and he still reached the NFL. After high school, he kept playing at Delaware Valley. That gave him another level to prove himself on the field. In 1966, the Detroit Lions signed him as an undrafted free agent. He was not drafted, but he still earned a roster chance. He went on to play in 63 NFL games for the Lions and later the Denver Broncos. That kind of run is rare for any lineman. His career also carried another first. He became the league's first black center. The position sat in the middle of the line, right over the snap. A Romanian shepherd's flute was sometimes built into a whip or staff. One object could carry music and work at the same time. The flute is a traditional Romanian wind instrument, often linked to the solitary shepherd. It was commonly played alone, as part of daily life. Its name is thought to come from the Latin flare, meaning to blow. That fits a flute made for breath, carried in the hand or hidden inside a tool. By folding the flute into a working tool, the shepherd carried one item instead of two. It stayed useful in the field and ready for solo playing. So the shepherd's whip or staff became both equipment and expression. The same object could mark the path and carry a tune across the hills. Laura Kenny won 6 Olympic medals, and 5 of them were gold. That is the British female Olympic gold record. She was an English former professional cyclist. Her focus was track endurance, where races reward pacing, teamwork, and repeated effort. Her main events were team pursuit, omnium, scratch race, and Madison. Those disciplines test speed, timing, and staying power on the track. Across her Olympic career, those races produced 5 gold medals and 1 silver. That gave her 6 medals in total, a joint British record. Her 5 golds make her the top British female Olympian by gold medals. Her 6-medal total is tied with Charlotte Dujardin at the top of the list. A future One Direction star was also signed to Doncaster Rovers. That singer was Tomlinson, before fame put him on a very different stage. Tomlinson grew up in Doncaster, England, where football and local identity were part of everyday life. The club connection came from that hometown setting. In 2010, he auditioned for the X Factor as a solo artist. After rejection, he and 4 other solo contestants were placed into a new group. That group became One Direction. The 5 voices were blended into a single act instead of leaving as separate solo singers. One Direction went on to become one of the best-selling boy bands of all time. So Tomlinson's story runs from Doncaster Rovers to global pop fame. In hockey, large buttocks can be a tactical advantage. Players even call it a hockey butt. The phrase points to prominent gluteal muscles, the muscles in the back of the hips. They are commonly seen in ice hockey players. That shape comes from lower body training and repeated skating movements. Squats and lunges load the legs and hips over and over. Those movements help build strength, balance, and repeated power on the ice. The body adapts to the same push and glide pattern again and again. So the sport shapes the physique itself. What looks unusual is often just the result of skating, squats, and lunges repeated for years. A drill song lyric became Dictionary.com's 2025 word of the year. The phrase was 6 to 7, from Skrilla's song Doot Doot. Doot Doot is a drill rap track by American rapper Skrilla. It first came out on February 7, 2025, and later appeared as a bonus track on the deluxe edition of Zombie Love Kensington Paradise. At the beat drop, the repeated 6 to 7 line stood out. That fragment spread fast on TikTok and Instagram, where people copied it again and again. The phrase became slang because people kept using it as a meme, even when its meaning stayed flexible. That looseness helped it travel beyond the song itself. By the end, a lyric from Doot Doot had crossed into everyday online slang. Dictionary.com then gave that tiny refrain a formal title for 2025. Those were 8 remarkable facts worth knowing. If one of them changed how you see the subject, leave a comment and subscribe for the next set of strange but true stories.